Hello. Hello, good evening, welcome, good morning, good afternoon, greetings and salutations. Hello world, and welcome to this live edition of the Women of BSV. Now, hopefully we are going to be joined by Aleksandra Los, who is over at the CambrianSV over in Costa Rica. Now, as she's not here at the moment, I am going to hog this little intro and I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to play this video so we can all see what Cambrian is. So we have a video here and I'm just going to play this.
The idea of hosting a boot camp type of event came when Jack and I were talking, and we both think that what's needed for a rapid growth for the Bitcoin world is we bring all these application developers at the same place for a week-long time. People can work together, can learn from each other. We think that would be very beneficial and productive.
The second that Jack told me about this boot camp, he was like, I really want to take a bunch of devs and put them in a place that's hard to access, so only the best people, only the people who really want to be there come.
On the first evening when we all met, it was just a shocker to me to see it actually happen, and that the people I respect the most in this industry were all gathered in this room.
Jack Liu calls his event CambrianSV, taking inspiration from the geological era known for the rapid evolution of life forms. 30 developers have arrived in Bali to spend a week rapidly evolving a range of new apps for the Bitcoin SV blockchain.
They're all people who really want to be here, right? And they are all people who believe in a guy like Jack that he's going to make this into a good experience for them, something valuable in which they're going to learn a lot.
On that first dinner, there was no open mic planned, but everyone wanted to say a word before the event really started.
We're going to have silos of information that people can access for fucking eons.
The developers believe they can use Bitcoin technology to upload every kind of data securely and cheaply, providing limitless and immutable storage.
This is going to be information you're going to be able to call up 4,000 years from now and look at what your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was doing exactly to the day.
Well, I wasn't expecting to make any sort of speech or anything along those lines. I did not have anything prepared. Jack kind of put me on the spot since, I mean, we've been good friends for quite a long time. And he knows I feel very passionately about Bitcoin.
I couldn't have any more of my heart, soul, life invested in Bitcoin. And I am incredibly hopeful and simultaneously terrified. And that date of May 2020 could not be more important. And I don't think it is palpable enough in the community.
What's going to happen in May 2020 is built into the very code that makes Bitcoin work. Bitcoin is supported by a network of nodes known as miners. Their job is to add a record of every new Bitcoin transaction to an agreed ledger called the blockchain. They're known as miners because they're paid in new Bitcoins that the software creates automatically as a so-called block reward for their maintaining the network. There'll only ever be a limited number of Bitcoins, 21 million in fact.
So, I'm just going to pause this video here because it is 28 minutes long, but we are now joined by Aleksandra, who is over in Costa Rica. So welcome and thank you for joining us.
Hello guys. So yeah, thanks to the gracious Women of BSV, we decided to have a small sneak peek from you guys, especially from Costa Rica, as we've got entire team in here on this year Cambrian. I think we've got Liam right there, who is the co-organizer of it, and maybe he will like to tell us a few words about it.
Surprise!
Surprise!
What's up? Hey!
Hey, Liam.
Hey, how you all doing? We need we only got the one woman here, so it's good to have some more women of BSV on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. Aleksandra is
you can hear me fine, yeah?
Yes. Perfectly, Liam.
Great.
Perfectly.
Great. Yeah, how are you all doing? Nice to see you all.
No, we're good, but more
I wish I
importantly,
was
how
there
are
with
you
you
doing?
guys, though.
Yeah, we're just yeah. I mean, we're what is it? Day 2. We're day 2 Cambrian. So yeah, we've been doing like lots of brainstorming, and I mean this year because it's a we're kind of a smaller group than the first 2 Cambrians. But I think what's going to happen in the end is we'll be brainstorming the best idea, and then we're going to work on it all together and do like a sprint on it. So yeah, hopefully something exciting comes out of it.
Amazing.
So, what was yesterday like, Liam? Come on, tell us what you did yesterday. You got workshops and stuff that you were doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw the stream with Xiao Hui the other day. He was talking on ZKP, and yeah, and then yeah, I mean, the agenda we did write an agenda, but I think generally we've been just kind of going with the flow in terms of what people are bringing, and like a lot of it has just been like really intense discussions on Bitcoin, on the future of Bitcoin, on like the the corruption in the world, about the state of fiat money. And so we're like exploring all these like massive topics, and I mean we're all Bitcoiners here, so it's been pretty intense, but like in a really good way.
Yeah,
Nice.
so lots of ideas flying around then for future ventures and things. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think just people like connecting with each other and like getting to know each other. Like there's like good people here coming from different parts of the world, and getting to know each other. Yeah.
How many people have you got, and can you tell us who they are?
I think we're going to be 18 or 19 of us in total. So the first 2 Cambrians were about 35, so about half the size of the first 2 Cambrians we had. And the people, yeah, I don't know actually. I don't know how. Yeah, like people are kind of like we have Xiao Hui here. We're going to have like Kravitz is coming tomorrow, I think.
Oh, brilliant.
Jack's here. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know where you can see. Where's the camera? You can see everyone. Yeah, I mean, whoever wants to actually show themselves, they can come. I don't want to like people who might not be afraid, like happy to be on camera or something. I don't want to like share their name.
It's good to see this fun and frolics as well. That's what we need in we all basically have quite a hard time.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Fidel has been our director of vibes.
Yeah,
Give
this
us
is the
getting dancing with his
Right,
dad.
Alex.
You want to say a word?
well, I think Jack said this is the first Cambrian with a live DJ. So yeah, we've been holding down the vibes and just making sure that everybody's having a good time and in good spirits to build, because like this is I think the first Cambrian where there's just as many like marketing creative people as developers and programmers, and so that's kind of opening up so many like broader discussions, I think, in terms of like how to bring things to market, and not just like what can we build, but like what do people like what will people use, right? And that's kind of I think where we're at right now in the BSV world is like we have this amazing magical alien technology, but we don't have that killer app yet. So yeah, that's been really fun, and yeah. Anybody else want to say anything?
What was one of the main things that people said they wanted or would use or would be like? Is there anything specific that really stands out that people really want to see?
We're still working on it.
Yeah. It's only day 2, so we haven't figured out all the world's problems just yet.
But
Maybe we should do a turbo,
More days.
I could maybe answer to that.
There you go. This is Matt.
Hello, ladies. My name is Matt.
Hi,
Hi, Matt.
Hi, I'm from Orlando, Florida. My band name is Be Love and Be You, and the first letter of the B is actually the BSV logo. Some more on that later, but the first day was awesome because we did a lot of introductions, getting to know each other. It was a pretty like open space that these guys were able to cultivate, to share these ideas. Everyone's from different places, different backgrounds. I'm less on the techier side and more on the artist creative. So I felt comfortable like saying, well, here's what I do, and these are the tools that I need. So that's what we're trying to identify. And, there's like that power of one ideas. And we all kind of took a step back. And we're like, maybe, we've all got our great ideas. Maybe if we came together on one thing right now that could serve the network and serve each of us in our own unique way would be a good idea. And for me, like my first thought is like, well, all my websites are on Web 2.0. It's on WordPress, hosted on SiteGround, domain on Namecheap. It's like I want to get away from this Web 2.0 that is, I'm basically at the mercy of big tech, and I could be deplatformed and decensored or all that censored at any time. So I think that's kind of what we're looking at building. I don't want to give away the sauce that we're just talking about, but it's big.
I
some
just
of
wanted to
it's
say we oh sorry. I just wanted to say me and you are very much on the same wavelength, because one of the first conversations I ever had with Joelle was, how do I put my website on Bitcoin?
Exactly. That's what I want to know.
And he's like a man of an hour who just entered the room, so Jack is gonna perhaps tell us something from.
Because I saw Jad lurking in the background there.
Yeah, drag him
Come
in.
on, Jad.
Oh, hi. I don't know where this camera is.
Hello, Jack. You finally
Yeah.
made it to our show. Hello.
Hello.
Tell us
Hey,
about it, Jack. Tell us, do people break up into teams and work separately, or are you all working together as a group? What's the idea this time?
It's interesting that I think people came with a lot more open mind this time, and less like boxed into like a specific product they wanted to build. And that's given way to more brainstorming as a group, especially in the conditions that Bitcoin is right now. A lot of entrepreneurs here and who are not here are looking for business models that work. And so the emphasis of the first Cambrian was about on-chain transactions, like how do we get more transactions on-chain, just period. The second one was how do we have open standards and protocols that we can all work together. This one has some of both of those themes too, but it has an emphasis of, okay, how do we have transactions on chain that makes money for us as entrepreneurs? How do we have open standards, but have open standards that are value adding to us as business people? And so there's a bit of a putting it all together in the form of how do businesses make money, which allows us to be sustainable, and also allows us to be credible to our users in the form that they can also make money, or they can also enjoy our services and not have the services be ended abruptly. So
I agree. That's the key. That's the key, I think, is to let your users make money. And I've heard you say that on the spaces, Twitter spaces, quite often. And I totally agree with you. If you can figure out that sweet spot of, you know, the company making money and the users also making money, then it'll rip.
I really feel like it's okay. You know, just as a digital marketing student myself that's been trying to learn about the space, like the biggest ROI for marketing from my research is either SaaS or an information product. So if you guys can build something there that will empower someone to be able to share like what they do in a course, I really feel like that is what the market needs, is to empower people to be able to make their own money with their information product. That is the best thing in all these different, you know, arenas of digital marketing is these courses. So if you guys could build that for me, I will sell it. I need that, because that's what all my clients that I'm working with like want, is a product that's like, you know, a Sam cart or a mastermind.com, or like these things that you can build these courses and sell their skill, you know, monetize it. So I think everybody will love it and eat it up and win all around if you can build that for the ecosystem. Like, that's my vote.
Casey?
So do we have a deal and you go back to work?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Yes.
Thanks, bro.
Last one from our friend.
Wait. I want to introduce you guys to someone special, because we got some cool people here. So yeah, we may or may not be working on exactly that, Casey. Just letting you know.
Sweet. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I suppose one of the main things as well is to make sure that everything is sustainable.
Yeah.
You know, because that's a big thing, isn't it? I mean, for example, just going back to the hosting, I host with Ionis, and obviously, you know, they're a very sustainable kind of business model. So that's also sort of part of the conversations as well that you'd be having.
God, guys, it's every day. It's like you're getting zapped with like every hour. There's just information going back and forth. So probably the biggest takeaway here is that thus far is that Bitcoin is uncharted territory. We've been using the analogy of you know, if Bitcoin BSV, if all of crypto were rockets and scaling was Mars, BSV is already at Mars. Everyone's still trying to, all the other cryptos are trying to still take off. They're still in Earth. And the difference here is that we're just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on at Mars. You know, this is so like Jack said, it's more fertile ground. It's a better place to live, but our standard of living is still inferior to that of people on Earth still. So
that's a really good way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are trying to see Bitcoin is still in the process. We're all in the process of discovering Bitcoin, everyone, and Bitcoin changes you. It really does, and it makes you look at the world different. So you have to leave your preconceived notions behind, because you know, we talk about it in spaces a lot, where it's easy for you to, you know, you create a company with someone per se, and you create a culture around that person, because it's the synthesis of a new relationship, a new interaction, and you build a product. And it's almost like that kind of handicaps what we've been talking about here, is that kind of like, as an individual, me, if I marry just one product in Bitcoin, I'm only expressing myself through that one company. So, and if you add NDAs and the corporate mindset that people bring into Bitcoin, all of that energy is stifled there. Whereas why wouldn't I be able to work with Frames Genko, Josh Petty on another project, Jack Liu on another project, and just have, and they don't necessarily have to be huge projects, but each one will be a synthesis of my manifestation that will be like. So in other words, I'm not even thinking about Bitcoin as businesses anymore, or startups. I'm thinking it more about Bitcoin as endeavors. That's kind of like the word that I'm gonna start using. I'm in this endeavor here, in this endeavor there. And so why is that? Because it's almost like we need to learn to scale fast here more than ever. And we have to be very nimble, because Bitcoin is a different place to anything that we're used to. All of our preconceived notions, even of business, the incentive structures are different. Everything is different. And so we're all on a path of discovery here. And it's just, I'm honored to be here amongst, you know, fellow big block Bitcoiners that have landed finally, and we're all exploring what this new environment is. And yeah. So what's up, Alex?
Good.
What you think?
I think we are on Mars and the connection is breaking up, so we've got the word to say.
The connection is breaking up?
Yeah.
No. We're good here. Don't worry.
I want to introduce you guys to new faces, though, real quick before we hang up.
Can I ask a question? Oh, yeah. You're right, Chad. Good. Nice to see you there.
Good.
So I did want to ask a question, if you don't mind. Is that all right? Because you mentioned NDAs. Do you not think sometimes it might actually be better to protect your intellectual property than
you can do it all you want, and I'm going to beat you in the market. Please do that. I'll beat you in the market, because that's going to stifle you. And,
that's what I mean.
And that's going to keep you locked into that weight is going to just drag on for you forever. While I'm going to be working with 7 different entrepreneurs, you're going to be married to one.
Yeah.
I have freedom. So by all means, do that, because it'll be less competition for me.
I just wondered, because I'm obviously I just want to chip it, because I'm from a TV film background, right? Theatre. You have to sign NDAs, because the big studios don't like you as an actress to be able to drop what's happening before it's actually out and been advertised and marketed. And this is where sometimes it's good to build up that momentum and keep some things private so that you can build and then market out. But I do see where you're coming. It's coming from. It's a really interesting kind of thing for me, because it's a hard place.
We're in a new planet, so you can try Earth things out in this new planet. And from our experience, not experience back in Earth, but those of us that have been working in this new planet without any VC funding, just like straight up, like bottom up approach to entrepreneurship, we have field tested results. We've already been down that path, and Jack Liu came back and said, dude, I encountered a blue dragon. Frames Genko and other guys are like, dude, I saw pink monkeys. We're discovering new things. So sure, that worked back on Earth, but here we're discovering that we have to interact and look, this is really what it is. Bitcoiners helping Bitcoiners, right? We have to, like, someone we all know says interconnectivity is incentivized, right? When it regards to miners. Well, guess what? We're discovering here that we landed is that interconnectivity amongst entrepreneurs is incentivized as well.
Yeah, so, let me just drop this in. As Daniel Kravitz is always saying, we all raise the value of the network together. Like, so we're incentivized to compete, but also to cooperate, more so probably to cooperate than to compete.
That's the key thing. That's definitely the key thing, Ruth. Bitcoin it's the best form of money. So that enables the best form of cooperation. That's why money was invented. And then just thinking how the world would look like with this, best form of money, you can start there and work backwards. That's what we're trying to do. And then try to focus on this world that we want to live in, and then identify those problems that we can solve, and then work backwards towards the solution instead of, doing the opposite. And a lot of what we've seen in the space has been damaging in terms of doing things for free, and not really thinking of how people can better cooperate. And that's why we have so many products that are not reliable, and people are not thinking with this mindset, and it's resulting to a lot of things that are not reliable, and then they're not sustainable, and they break. And you can't really, if someone's doing something for free, for example, they're offering a service, you can't really complain because they're giving it to you for free. You don't have any sort of proper cooperation. And when people think about charging money for things, it's kind of some people kind of take it in the wrong light, and it's kind of seen as you're exploiting someone or something. But that's completely the opposite. If you're actually providing a good, valuable product or service, you should definitely charge for it, because that's a good thing, and that's why people specialize, and that allows them to cooperate better. So that's just some thinking about how money can allow us to cooperate. And then what we're trying to do here is trying to get everyone to think into the future with this best form of money that we've ever created, how that world will look like, and then work backwards. And that's what Raphael was talking about. We're on Mars. We're just trying to figure out how things will look on Mars, and then work backwards to know.
Yeah, some things are like paradoxical in a sense, because we're so used to like living through the corporate structure, working through the state, right? A lot of people, they rely on dispute resolution from the state. And we're not saying that ceases to exist. What we're saying is that Bitcoin is the business that we all really work for. Bitcoin is the middleman, like Jack Lew says. Bitcoin is the corporation. Everything else is just, any endeavor on Bitcoin is just transitory, because Bitcoin will live forever. Right. So I want to introduce you all to someone, and he's new to BSV, but I wanted to get his take. Maybe you guys can ask him some questions. This is L. Dixon, Leandrew.
How's it going, guys? Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Yeah. As Rob said, I'm new to this whole BSV thing, but these guys are blowing my mind so far. And I'm seeing the vision. I'm super excited about it. It's an alignment with a lot of the things that I care about and want to see in the world. So I'm enjoying.
I've got a question. I've got another question. Sorry. There are 37% of the world's population that don't have internet access at the moment. That's 2.9 billion people, roughly. How are we going to get those people onto Bitcoin?
There's a lot of people working on that. I'm not sure that that's necessarily like our mission to take up. Everybody has to focus on their own particular lane. I know, like them or not, Elon is doing a lot to make sure that the rest of the world can get online right now with Starlink. I'm just trying to focus on, my lane personally.
Hey, interconnectivity is incentivized. So you're going to want to connect with them. And so I'm pretty certain that the only platform is Big Block Bitcoin that has the incentive structure necessary to drive that interconnectivity to those who are still not yet connected.
Good
So
answer.
I
I
think
asked
we'll figure it out eventually.
You know, there are a lot of really interesting projects that kind of use mesh networking and stuff like that to help get internet to places that don't have it. So I could definitely see projects like that emerging, especially having something that's this capable of microtransactions and being able to serve as a node and a network where, you know, you might get a signal from the top of the hill if you live in Costa Rica, for example, and be able to serve as a node to the rest of your local community and be able to, you know, get little Satoshis here and there for providing that service.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of incentivization in place that, you know, would cause people to develop systems like that could help.
I think even Craig's talked about that on occasion, hasn't he? Yeah, people providing connectivity to each other. Yeah, awesome. Have you guys got like a short list of projects that you're narrowing it down to then, and then you'll, you know, make a start on one of them, or how's it? Is it just like evolving organically?
We're working on it. We're working on it. I'm looking around. We can't say, right? We're actually
Top secret.
We're going through a lot
Top
of
secret.
We're going through. We're just looking through a lot of factors right now.
Well, can I just say I love you guys and appreciate all the energy that you're putting into, you know, creating a better world for everyone and the ripple effects that'll come out of all the energy you guys are putting out right now. And just do your best, you know, as you're working with each other and all these like conversations, I'm sure can get intense with everybody's opinions and ideas and whatnot. Just, you know, visualize the breath that's coming in and out of you in your heart center, which will keep all of you guys in your hearts as you're communicating with each other. And the best information will come then because you guys are all in a certain state and in a flow state. You know what I mean? So I really love hearing that this is happening because it's really important to propel this technology, and nobody else is out there doing it but, you know, this group. So cool. Good work.
Thank you, guys. And thank you.
Jack's going to drop some wisdom on us before he goes. Come on, Jack.
Yeah, come
you
on.
can come up with some nugget and some golden nugget on the spot, I know.
Oh man,
Drop some
Well, that's for the
Come
end.
on.
I don't know how much, but you know, just being in Costa Rica, I think it was a hard journey for a lot of people to get here. 4-hour drive from the airport, raining some nights.
Wow.
So people are already in a very different environment, and it's sort of like simulating that Mars effect where no one here has ever been to Costa Rica, myself included, and it's almost like a 24/7 event because even when people leave their co-working space at dinners and at different people's houses, people are still buzzing about Bitcoin. So I'm sure the talents here and elsewhere in the Bitcoin community and the faith in Bitcoin is stronger than ever. So that's all.
Has it given you some ideas about environmental projects as well? Because obviously Costa Rica is absolutely stunning and it's rainforest. So is there conversation around that?
So basically, like, we live in a very inefficient world and a very corrupt world, and no amount of environmental spending will overcome the inefficiencies of the current economy. So again, another paradoxical thing is that if you run the economy on Bitcoin, you would actually no longer need environmental projects for the sake of environmental projects because the economy would already run cleaner. People already have preferential things for more sustainable things. And so really Bitcoin is the solution to the environment.
Well said.
So
Thank you, Jack.
take Bitcoin while you're there, if you guys can. I don't know how close it is to you, but there's a sustainable treehouse community in the canopy of the rainforest there called Finca Bella Vista. It's all eco-village, sustainable home, treehouse community there in Costa Rica. If any of you guys can check it out and tell them about BSV and whatnot, I mean, that'd be a great prime target for what you're talking about.
We will try to find them.
Thank you. I think we have a talk coming up, so thanks a lot for having us on.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Jack, for organising.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Excellent. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us, everybody. And have we got any last words that we want to say to anybody?
Not any last words. Well, I love hearing from them all. I saw Luke Ronaz in the background slinking off. It's a shame we didn't get to hear from him as well because he's, fascinating.
There is as far as I know, there is a CambrianSV Twitter page. So if you follow the CambrianSV Twitter page, I think that you'll be able to see a lot of the speeches filmed and aired on YouTube. So
there was one from Xiaowei yesterday, wasn't there, which I haven't had a chance to watch yet, but I will. Always a good time listening to Xiaowei.
So if you like this episode, this live stream, short and sweet this time, then please join us again and like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you all later. Thank you. Bye.